Okay, there we are. We're live. All right, everybody. Welcome. Captain Gyro here. Welcome aboard. And today we're going to have Spencer Wolfhart playing the Hunters. And he's going to be trying to catch Herowwan? Herowwan? We're going to go with Herowwan for now. He's going to be Dracula in this match of the 2024 League of Dracula tournament for the World Championship title. Who will be number one? Uh, so we've got our second match between these two players, I am told. Told that Spencer Wolfhart won the reverse matchup when he was Dracula. So let's see if he can catch Herowwan as hunters and win both matches. Or will Herowwan be able to turn it around on him and escape as Dracula? Let's find out in this exciting, thrilling game. Getting a little trading going. Hi, everybody. Everybody's here. Scott Sword, Geo, welcome. Get a little of the music going. As usual, let me know if the balance is okay. Scott Sword, maybe you can provide a little bit of translational help for myself. And then we can address Jordy's comment together. Misdirect. The starting location. Typical. Lorcadoming supplying. Discarding stake and pistol. Makes you think, does he have multiple stakes? Is that why he did that? That's... I mean, there's no telling what he had exactly or why he discarded the stake, but that's why I like to trade with Mina on the first night. Mina could have grabbed maybe that extra stake or whatever other card he had. That's just me. Okay. Yeah. Spencer's a good hunter player. When I was in the last championship tournament, I played against Spencer Wolfhart, and he was the only guy in my group who caught me as Dracula. I was in the English Channel with devilish power and very low health, and he very wisely put both the Heavenly Host tokens in Plymouth and London, and put the Consecrated Ground token in 29. So I was able to remove the Consecrated Ground token with Devilish Power, and I wolf formed to one of these cities in France where he found me and finished me off with Dr. Seward. It was a really, really close game, though. I think, if I recall correctly, one more move and I'd have won by Fury of Dracula. But yeah, no, he's a very, very competent hunter player. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the particular style that he employs, though. I mean, everyone who catches Dracula does the same thing, essentially, but we all sort of have a different way of going about it, a different value that we place on certain cards. Who was it? You were commentating a game yesterday, Scott. So there were so many yesterday, and one of the hunter players discarded all of the heavenly hosts. So he's walking around really well prepared with knives and horses and guns. But because Dracula knew that there weren't any heavenly hosts available in hand, he was able to leverage that information really well. Because it not only does it tell him that he has less to worry about as far as CG is concerned, but in a combat, he no longer has to play the 50-50 gamble game between, do I play strength to break the weapon, or do I play fangs to get the heavenly host? It's just play strength every single time. Or mesmerize. And mesmerize also becomes way safer, because as long as they're not holding onto a crucifix and you don't get punched, you're not likely to get your mesmerize canceled, which is something that could happen pretty easily with Heavenly Host. But yeah, that's an example of like a style choice. Oh, Dracula's in Germany. Interesting. But yeah, he decided to not go with any of the heavenly hosts, but had serious ramifications. Needs to be that doubt in Dracula's mind. Oh, what if they throw heavenly hosts at me? Yes, he's in Germany somewhere. Interesting choice. He hasn't moved any of his hunters, if I recall correctly. He didn't start with like a Quincy Morris setup with Godalming over here. Oh no, he did. Can you not hear me? Let me know. Yeah, what he did move them to Germany. Okay. Huh. Hang on. Oh dear. All good. We got hired scouts. Okay. Where is he in Germany? So yeah, I rewound the footage, and I apologies for phasing out, I guess. But yeah, both the hunters started in 58 here, Mina and Godalming. So he did trot them both over to 38 and just have himself a little scan, which you don't see a lot anymore, uh, because the value of getting through the event deck as fast as possible is just so high. Whereas moving a space with two hunters costs two cards, and you might not even find out Dracula's there. And if Dracula started in the east, you're moving further away from him, which is also not good. But you can't argue with the results. Yeah, that's interesting. You don't see a lot of that. But yeah, the unpredictability factor caught Dracula off guard there. Could be useful. So Brussels has the rumor token, which means it's likely Amsterdam with the hoax. Right? This is probably hoax, maybe bodyguards. It's not even a terrible place for like. I mean, you could put down another vampire, but probably wouldn't. Oh, going in all aggressive. Straight to Frankfurt. Nobody ever thinks he's in Frankfurt. Turns out it was Frankfurt. Oh, that's gonna hurt Dracula. He's not gonna like that, and he wouldn't dare stick around and feed. Yeah, that's a good start for hunters. If he were to stick around and feed, yeah, he'd get a lot of his health back from that, but with the trail this short and Godalming right there, and even Seward could get there if he has a chartered carriage. And yeah, he only has one event, but you never know. It could be a chartered carriage. And then he could just chartered carriage straight to Frankfurt, which would kind of be hilarious. What a place to take a chartered carriage. And then he'd be in a 3-on-1, right? So Dracula would have to be mad to try to finish her off. She's going to heal tonight, too. Yeah, so she'll be out of immediately threatening range. You just gotta bite the bullet here in wolf form, I think. Or maybe even go to 51 if you maybe the heroic leap changed everything there. He is gonna feed. Okay. This is crazy. This is really interesting. We're getting started early with some action. Yeah, I mean the trail is 4 cards long, which normally wouldn't be terrible, except like the game's only just begun, right? And you've already had to put a feed down, so I don't know. I'd just be worried as Dracula. I'd be more concerned about trying to wolf out of there and get a trail going, get a good long trail going that they have to deal with. Dracula's playing really aggressively here. What if she's loaded up with a knife and stuff? What does she have? They haven't had a long time to supply, so I mean, it does make sense to fight early. Oh, fanging into a planned ambush. That's pretty risky. That's pretty risky. Oh, okay, but she does not have the knife. Or she didn't want to reveal it at the very least. Knife, garlic, something like that. She doesn't have it, doesn't want to reveal it. Wouldn't surprise me if she doesn't have it. Right? It's so early. Like, they've only discarded 4 item cards. Bats. That'll help with this trail situation. I mean, you could maybe punt him away so that he's not as useful in clearing the trail. Keep him away from Amsterdam. Maybe that's what he's trying to, like, protect the hoax, you know? Draw the hunters off of it. But here comes Dr. Seward. Yeah, you would think no knife, because you take the knife there. I mean, it's a day combat. I would say if you have the knife, you play it. You get him down to 10. And then if he fangs you on the way out, you still netted 1 damage. Oh no. Not a good time for garlic, unfortunately. There's some things I like about what's happening here, as far as from Dracula's perspective, right? Like, you want them, oh, here's the strength, he escapes, okay. You want them, if you're going to be fighting them, you want to be early like this. They're way less prepared to fight you would think. I mean, they could be lucky and just drawn all the good cards that they needed, but you're hoping they're not really ready with a good heavy hand of the best cards, that they're holding on to some of the dinkier ones still, dogs and pistols and things like that. I find getting into a fight early as Dracula and escaping as a bat is really powerful. Just really, really powerful. Even if you have to take the 2-on-1, it can be worth it. Obviously, it depends on how the fight goes, because if you just take like 9, 10 damage, it might not be worth it. But if you take 5, 6 damage and get away as a bat, it can kind of be worth it. You run away, you feed, you get more trail going. Yeah, I mean, it's Dracula here. That's all you want right now is to escape as a bat. Because he still has wolf form available. So as the 100s, you have to be thinking that that's what he wants. But he can also beat up Mina here. I'd be really careful here. Oh, he loses his rifle to strength. Yeah, good play from Drac there. Go after the guy who's wealthy because he's likely to have weapons. Holy bullets from Mina. Okay. That's 5. But see, since it's so early, he can escape right now. All he has to do is target Lord Godalming and escape as a bat. And hope that Godalming doesn't have a second rifle or a knife. Either that or you go for Mina and hope that she's not holding onto a knife. We're sure of that. But she could be holding onto a rifle, which would make sense. Pistol, rifle, holy bullets. Okay, he's going to go for the strength again. Oh, no! It's a heavenly host. That's not good. I wonder if he had Escapist Bat or not. Yeah, because if you have Escapist Bat there, I would have played it against him for sure. But you might not have had it. A punch from Mina. It's unfortunate. Now you gotta definitely escape, right? Well, I mean, Mina still has a pistol, so she's gonna shoot you again. Godalming has something we don't know about. It doesn't help too much here, unfortunately, but at least you hurt Mina. They're shooting you, Drac. What's Godalming got? He's gonna escape. Okay. Now, if Dracula can finish off Mina here, I mean, he's still only gonna get 2 points for it. But at least it's something. You finish her off or play bats. Yeah, get some health back. Alright, I like where you're going with this. Great strength, unfortunately. But at least he'll get his health back. Yeah. Alright, I can respect it. You got their great strength. If only it's unfortunate that for Dracula that this had to happen, and Dr. Seward is right here and he's going to clear the trail anyway, probably, right? If he had, say, been in Varna with the rumor token, right? Or the hoax in Varna or Athens or something, I don't know. If Dr. Seward was less of an issue and he was just dealing with the two of them, then they would have had to make a choice between him or the trail, I think. And that's where you want the hunters to be, is forced to make those awkward decisions. And because you can't control what your opponent does, but if you give them lots of different factors to keep in mind, you can eventually make a mistake, right? So if Dracula's out in front of his trail and his trail is sort of behind him in this example, then the foremost hunters have to decide, like, let's say he wolf forms tonight, right? We have to decide, do we go chase him down in 44 or 38 or wherever he wolf formed to? Do we go to 60 to try to catch where he wolf formed to? Or do we head towards Amsterdam and clear up the encounters? But that's not the case here because Dr. Seward is so close to the action. And looks like Dracula is taking his chips and pushing them all forward onto the table. He's going all in here with a hide to try to finish off Mina. I don't know about this, Drac. I appreciate the effort to finish her off, but golly, man. Maybe he's hoping to play his fangs again and suck her blood, and then play it again. It's like he wants to be at 11 health after the end of this fight, you know? That'd be crazy. But that's what he's been doing, is just sucking blood. Don't underestimate it. Maybe he could make this work. Just land fangs on her. Oh no, you forgot about the pistol. Either that or his hand was just dreadful. That's unfortunate. Yeah, day fight, 3 damage. That's tough. And then she can move here to get away from Drac. And then she won't have to risk being in a night fight with him at all. Yep. Maybe just a bit of a tiny overestimation of Dracula's power. Good dodge. Yeah, that makes good sense. You've seen a plotting already, so well, odds you're going to get plotted on again. Not super likely. And even if you do, I mean, you'll probably live, right? Yeah, I mean, it's not. If the game's not over yet, right? There still could be plenty of game left to be played. But let's say it looks pretty down for Dracula right here. It doesn't look great for Drac. But it's not like Herowwan is crazy or anything. Especially if he might be a newer player. I'm not totally sure. But I've seen newer players do things like this before too. Where they weaken a hunter and they want to double down on it and make sure they finish him off. And then it's just maybe a slight overestimation of how strong Dracula is in a day fight. Gotta remember his weakness. The sun. Yeah, you don't want to chase the bad money with more good money. Like if the gamble didn't work out for you, you weren't able to finish her off, you still have a chance to get away with wolf form while you can. I mean, he knew she had a dogs and a pistol, and that was it. After the Holy Bullets was used. So I mean, it's not like it's totally crazy. The problem with the strategy isn't really how risky it is to me, because you're gonna have to do something risky eventually anyway. It's not the risk involved so much as the inherent reward here is just not worth it. Killing a hunter late in the game with lots of despair tokens on the board can be a real turning point for Dracula. Yeah, I'll be over there in a bit, Scott. Sorry, that sounds fun. You have a good time over there. Uh, yeah, there. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Uh, yeah. Turning point for Dracula. Right. Yeah. If you if you're able to defeat a hunter late in the game, you get a lot of points for it. Defeating a hunter early in the game, you don't get a lot of points for it. Oh, he just hit Vampiric Influence though. That's interesting. It's unfortunate that moving Mina now wouldn't provoke a fight with Dracula though. That would have been really nice one turn ago. Well, maybe. I'm interested to see what happens here now. Now wolf away, Dracula. Go wolf away from all this. It won't be great for you because you only have one encounter on the trail, but something. Ooh. Aw, no ambush. Unfortunate. But I mean, wasn't to know that he would draw a Vampiric Influence and put her. She would be in that space when it happened. So can't expect that. Don't know why the misdirect there. Yeah, with Dr. Seward on Brussels, you won't be able to threaten moving there. Okay, there's a wolf form. Excuse me. Well, Spencer Wolfhart taking advantage here, keeping his hunters alive and trying to just resist Dracula's efforts to defeat Mina. Essentially, push. He went a little all in on defeating one hunter at the expense of the rest of strategy. Right? You have to have a more holistic strategy. You have to remember that the trail is important to keep alive. Because look at the trail now. Hardly exists at all. Now we have a renewed vigor. We're trying to get all the hunters in neat, orderly places to trade cards and take care of the trail and maybe also jump on Dracula. It doesn't look like he's really trying to jump on Dracula here. Looks like he's just trying to get his things in order. Good effort to ambush on the renewed vigor play. That was a really good effort because normally I would never ambush a Saboteur, but on a renewed vigor play, and it's his first action to move on a Saboteur, you ambush. That's a great move. But an equally good use of dogs. Now you can hear those dogs continue to bark. Does anyone else have this bug happen? Stop. Not in Germany. That's a good psychic scan. Psychic bond, yeah. So that means he went to 44, or he went to 51, or he went to 24, he went to 60. I think that's about it. What now? He's not dead yet. Okay, move to 44 or to 58 to see if he went from 44 to 58, which eliminates that. But I mean, it's still technically possible that he went from 44 to 7 or to Nuremberg, right? He could have gone here to here, but he couldn't be hiding. But it certainly isn't that likely that he would do that. Instead of trying to just move away from all of the hunters, it seems more likely that he would have gone here to Geneva, but he didn't. So that leaves 60 and 51. So send Mina to 51. No, doesn't want to. Okay, she's gonna rest up. I mean, that makes sense. You're not in any hurry. You're not in any hurry. You have a really good idea which of these cities Dracula went to. It's one of these two. Still possibly here, but you psychic scan tonight, that eliminates this, actually. So do that. That would be a good... Yep, okay. He tried to be sneaky and go back into Germany via 7 or 41. So well played to Spencer. Good call not moving Mina there. Because with Hyde on the trail, and only 3 possibilities remaining for wolf form locations, he was actually able to eliminate one of them by just using Psychic Bond again, because Dracula in this city, he'd be forced to move back into these cities. And not only did he eliminate it, he actually confirmed that it was 44, that Dracula Wolf Form 2. And now he's gone back into Germany. The only way that didn't happen is if he like did a false wolf form, like he just moved one city and he went to Nuremberg. But no, I think Lord Godalming was in Nuremberg when that happened because he got hit by bats. He pushed him there. So I'm pretty sure he couldn't have gone to Nuremberg. And then, he would have been Leipzig now under that theory. I think what actually happened is he's in Berlin or Nuremberg right now. And now he's moved on to Hamburg or to Leipzig or to Strasbourg or Frankfurt. No, Frankfurt's on the trail. Or to Munich. So, I mean, I would wager some of these are vampires, right? You would think he would feel a lot of pressure to get down a trail that the hunters feel forced to deal with. That's kind of what I would do if I had such a short trail and I was running out of options. I would just be like, put down the vampires as fast as you can. Either that or delaying encounters, saboteurs, aristocratics. So yes, it was confirmed Prague. Okay, there's the bats. I would have maybe let him search it, but it is a bats after all, so maybe just go for it, yeah. Bats is like so good it almost hardly even matters whether they search it or you ambush them, except in some circumstances, like trying to get a night fight going. Okay. Wasn't 60, so he didn't go to Nuremberg and then to 60, but he could have gone to Nuremberg to Munich. He didn't go to Hamburg. Do you have Mina check Berlin? Yeah, I say have Mina check Berlin. If Dracula's not there, okay, or supply, that's fine too. And then tomorrow Seward can check Berlin. Then he'll go, aha, Dracula wasn't in Berlin. That means he went to Nuremberg. And then he can try to get, or you can put Godalming in Berlin. And then Seward can make his move with that information. Interesting, because I mean they've hurt him really badly at the beginning, but like that costs the hunters something too. You know, it costs them a heavenly host, it costs them some hit points. They have to like sort of recoup and catch their breath and organize, and what event cards they did have, a few of them are gone too. They just sort of have to get their ducks up in a row. Yeah, they have to recover. Oh, maybe Dracula's headed towards the castle, you think? Um, yeah, he could have moved. Well, he went to Berlin, it turns out. So, like, yeah, at this point we know he's in 30. And that means next turn he has to move to 21 or 41. And that's it. That's all there is to it, honestly. No knife. You're mesmerized. Yeah, on the next turn, he's just gonna have to move to 21 or 41. There's no two ways about it. And Godalming's delayed. Bangs. Oh, but he's got 2 knives. But he's mesmerized. Vampire still gets 2 health. But yeah, I mean, Seward can get. If Seward has the right ticket, he could get to either of those places. What's the vampire want to do? He's mesmerized, he's fanged, he knows he can't fang again. He's probably, if he had a strength, he'd play it. He's thinking, what do I play? Fanging again. Ooh, caught the dodge. Yeah, see, Godalming was expecting a strength. He was probably planning on a strength. Surprised when he didn't see one. So now you strength, right? You gotta have it by now. Okay. Gonna escape. It's unfortunate. Couldn't do a little more with that, but hey, it happens. The guy had 2 knives. You try biting somebody who's got 2 knives. But yeah, see all the trouble Spencer Wolfhart can get in if you just let him? Imagine if this one in Prague had been a reckless too. I already forgot what it was. Oh no, it was the bats, right? I guess the bats wasn't bad either. And he has used another reckless. So maybe he doesn't have all the vampires he would like. But you know, some games you feel like you have nothing but vampires, and some games you sell your arm for one of them, but you can't get one. But I mean, you can use, yeah, it's Dracula. You're rarely in a situation where you can't put down any vampire at all, right? You should probably have one in your hand. Not great encounter economy here for Dracula though. With the feed and the hide card, also there was a misdirect involved. All that stuff means fewer draws from the encounter deck. So one of them's not such a big deal, but three of them, yeah, maybe it'll add up. Maybe one of those three cards could have made the difference, you know? Layer cycling is important. Understanding how Dracula can make the most of his deck is important. If you can play Fog 4 times in a game instead of 2, why wouldn't you? You're literally twice as powerful. Well, in that one area. Okay, he rumors the Berlin Reckless. I don't know if I like that. I mean, I guess, excuse me. It makes some sense because you want to force them to deal with it. You don't want them to just say, it's 4 points, who cares? He has 0 points, let's go kill him. So yeah, I can appreciate wanting to apply pressure so they feel like they need to deal with that thing before it matures. Maybe that, yeah, maybe that's an okay rumor. Even if the thing does die. Being able to threaten 7 points here, I think is a lot more significant than saying, ooh, I might score 4, and then have no more trail yet again. But we know where Dracula is. Well, we have to. He's either in Nuremberg or he's in Frankfurt. So what do you do with that? Send Dr. Seward to Nuremberg? I don't think the horse situation is remotely set up. I mean, one's been discarded. Which makes you wonder where the other 2 are, but we haven't seen any of it, so it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't really that worried about it. I honestly wouldn't be that worried about it, because look where Dracula is. You can take trains anywhere here, practically. Chartered carriage gets you almost wherever you want to go. Like, okay, how do I put it? This whole swath of map from Paris, 24, 25, 37, 60, 51, all this stuff in the middle right here. Yes, it is awkward to get around this region because of the way all these small cities connect. That's how Dracula can attempt to lose you here. But they're also all on rail lines. Yeah, the rail lines aren't always the best, right? Because it's not like you could just take a rail straight from 60 to Venice, for example, right? But they are on rail lines, right? As opposed to these 2 cities in France that aren't even on the rail line at all, right? These cities in the east that aren't on the rail line at all. I'm just rambling, but horses I don't think are really as good right here. Like, I mean, they are really good still because you can go from, say, Geneva to Munich. So like they're really important still. It's just they're not as important as when you're trying to chase Dracula into Athens. Like this is where you really, really, really need the horses. In the middle of the map, as long as you have something like a chartered carriage, a ticket with a 3 on it, maybe, sense of emergency, something like that you'd probably be okay. There's not a whole lot of places that you can't get to if you can move that many cities. It's just a little more restrictive than a horse. But like, look at like, how could you say no to this train from 42 to Berlin, right? From Paris to Berlin, like that's a beaut right there. You're zooming. You can go from 42 to Madrid. That's another really good train. We got a spy. Okay, knives and holy bullets. Dracula went to Munich. Okay. Makes sense. He's just blocking Dracula's options. And now he's converging on him. Yeah, without the hide card available to Dracula, his moves became really telegraphed. Uh-oh. This is gonna be curtains for Dracula. Oh, and Lucy's here too. Everyone's here. Quincy Morris, Jonathan Harker. Wow, they're here. Unfortunate for you, Dracula. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, you gotta take your bumps and bruises along the way. But yeah, next time don't commit too hard to killing one hunter. Killing one hunter doesn't win you the whole game, especially when it's really early in the game. Just beat them up a little, maybe suck some of their blood, then get away. You had actually he had like a really good moment there when he took the heroic leap, but he fed and kind of came out okay after the fight. To be honest, like if there was a point in the fight where if he'd have just escaped as a bat, he'd still had like 10 health left, and there would have been a lot of game left to be played. He actually would have been looking pretty good. But then he just sort of stuck around overcommitting, like played more strengths, hid, um, and just tried to overcommit a little bit to the one part of the strategy. But that's okay. You learn a little bit. Next time, just run away and take your chances. Take the damage that you get, and hopefully it'll matter later. But good effort. Good effort, regardless. Had some serious moments there where Dracula actually was looking kind of scary and threatening. Like he could have turned that heroic leap into nothing at a certain point. Like he fed and then he sucked a bunch of blood, and he didn't care about the heroic leap really. There were points there where he was looking all right, but yeah, well, a little more holistic strategy next time will get you a lot further. But GG, well played to both. Thank you for joining, Jordy. Hope you had fun. And I'm gonna hop into the next one, which is on Scott's channel. So anybody else, feel free to go hop over there as well. We'll see you. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for watching.